What's up, VC? It's Mark from Wandering Souls. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you watching. It's time for another big collection update. I had a sale going on one of our websites from a store that I regularly visit, and it was like so 4% off, and I quite took advantage of that because, you know, that sometimes happens. I bought a bunch of CDs, but before we go into that, we are listening to Cabal, metalcore, deathcore, really good bands. Thinking for Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. I've talked about this band before last year when this album came out. It was also in my year list. Great band. Go check it out if you are not familiar with them. Great band. Time for a beer. This is an alcohol-free one. Quite enjoyable. It's an IPA. Seen already often with alcohol-free beers, but it's really good. Really enjoy this one. So let's go over the CDs. A lot of stuff that is not stuff that I would regularly pick up, or but eventually sometime soon, or stuff that I rebought because I had that in my collection and get rid of it when I moved. And some stuff is just some random grabs. It's don't expect a lot of extreme metal or anything, just hard rock or metal, and somewhere in between somewhere. So that kind of stuff. So the first one up is from an album. It's a rebuy actually. I had this in my collection for years. I bought it when it came out, but this is first thing Slash did when he left Guns N' Roses. This is Slash's Snakepit, and this is their Brit album. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Heavy leaning on his guitar work, the bluesy sound, but still hard rock, you know. But it still is a rock band because there's also a vocalist, and it's some great catchy tunes, heavy riffing, really nice solos. Nothing new under the sun, but it's really great. And what Slash is known for, you know, for his guitar work. Yeah, there's a track listing here, album cover, and you have the CD right here, and here's the booklet. Yeah, interesting release. I can remember I've seen the video clips for Beggars and Hangers On and Be the Ball, two fantastic tracks. Especially Be the Ball is one of my favorites on the album. Be the Ball, you know, it's a really catchy up-tempo track. Fantastic, great singer as well. I don't know what the guy's name is. It is somewhere in the booklet, probably. Let's see if it's somewhere. Eric Dover, I think, is his name. Guitars by Slash, rhythm guitars Gilby Clarke, who was also in Guns N' Roses, and we have Mike Inez on bass. He is from Alice in Chains. Drums by Matt Sorum, also Guns N' Roses. Keyboards by Dizzy Reed, also Guns N' Roses. So he took a few people with him on this release. That's a great tune, great album. Definitely worth looking forward to listen to this again. I just got this stuff just in, so yeah, I'm doing this off the bat, you know, straight from the store. I ordered it online and I decided to go for the pickup option in the store, so that's easy. It's easier, and it's also not waiting on the post office, and it also saves some shipping costs, of course. So yeah, great stuff. Next one, let's put it down there. I bought 2 releases from Suicidal, Tendencies. I just recently saw also Metal Mickey talk about this band. He picked up some releases from this. I also did. I already have Anthems of Rebellion, I think it's called, and I also picked up now Lights Camera Revolution from 1990, and Suicidal for Life from 1994. Albums I'm not super familiar with. I am familiar with, well, I know this album pretty well, it's pretty good, and this is an album I still need to really listen to it. I listened to a few samples of it and it sounds pretty good, but I know for the fact that the band got more funkier during the years later, and not the standard straightforward hardcore punk, you know, hardcore punk thrash sound. But yeah, I'm looking forward to give these albums, the physical formats, a spin. Never owned these, I only Anthems of Rebellion, I think, and I have that again back in my collection. So I have 3 albums from these guys. Great American band, of course. Robert Trujillo is in the band. He's here, and he's, of course, now the bass player in Metallica. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Go check this band out if you are not familiar with them yet. Yeah. Then I picked up a release from Extreme, which is back in my collection now. This is 3 Sides to Every Story, the band's 3rd album, an album I'm really familiar with, and it's definitely one of my favorites from the band. Yeah, great for hard rock, has some funk influences as well, has some softer moments. This is definitely one of my favorite albums from the band. I love the way the album is a bit split up in 3 parts, and they call it Yours, Mine, and The Truth. So 3 sides to every story. Really cool idea. And the tracks differ also a bit, especially towards the end. It's more mellowed out. Don't expect another More Than Words. That doesn't sound like that. But yeah, fantastic album. Looking forward to this, to give this another new spin. It's been some years I heard this one, but I really like this album. I remember it really well, so looking forward to that. Another one is an album that I'm not familiar with, but I'm familiar with the band, especially some of the songs because they were covered by Napalm Death. This is a Raw Power with Live from the Gutter. This is, of course, a live album. Of course, hardcore punk bands, kind of crusty. That's why also Napalm Death was a big fan of them, because they drew inspiration from them. I think Napalm Death covered the song Politicians, which is also a song on the album, and track 9, I think, yeah, track 9. Pretty long track list here, a lot of songs, but yeah, straightforward hardcore punk, great sound. I really love the live sound of this. I streamed this a bit before I purchased it, and I was intrigued by this band because Napalm Death covered them, so I thought I need to dive more into these guys. They're from Italy, great band. Yeah, if you like your hardcore punk crust, then you definitely will enjoy this. Definitely good stuff. Go check it out, this band, Raw Power. Then I rebought actually Therapy's Infernal Love. Great band, Irish band, I think, Northern Ireland. I really love this band. Great musicians, and doing everything to sounding good. Of course, the song Diane is on here, which was a really big hit. This was the 2nd album they got more popularity, because the 1st album that gave them big popularity was, of course, Troublegum, and this was the follow-up to that, and the band blew really up after that. But fantastic band. I'm really glad to have this back in the collection. Great tunes on this one. I prefer Troublegum though, but I really adore this album as well. Yeah, great tunes. Therapy. Always love the band name with the question mark at the end. therapy. Always funny. Next up is a band I'm familiar with as well, but never had material from, at least physical. I had some MP3s from this. This is Left Half Solution with Fevered, and this is a doom metal band from Sweden. Fantastic, straightforward, heavy doom, kind of in a more traditional way. Female vocal as well on this. Really great stuff. Actually, it's been a while I have heard this, so I'm looking forward to give this another spin. But I'm really finally glad to own this physical copy for not only for $3. You know, can't go wrong there. All this whole lot I think cost me around $48 for 13 CDs, so that's not really that bad, I think. So yeah. Anyways, like €3-4 a CD, some were 4. It was even 1-2 or something, I think. It doesn't matter. Great stuff. Yeah, if you haven't heard this band yet, go check them out. The vocal is great. The music is great. Forward, heavy riffing, doom metal. Really good stuff. Later on, they had more a goth vibe to it. But that was some 8 albums later, and then they returned more to this style again. I think they only released 3 albums, 4, somewhere in that vein, so they haven't released about a lot, but this was released in 1997. The band's first album, if I'm not mistaken. There was a demo before this, I think. But yeah, really good stuff. Go check it out. Fevered by Left Hand Solution. Then we have the 4th album from the Black Crows. Again, really something different. This is 3 Snakes and 1 Charm. And this is an album I never owned by the band. I always have seen it in the stores back in the day. But I thought I'm not gonna pay full price for it, just gonna wait and buy sometime second hand cheap. And that's what I did. Yeah, 4th album, bluesy, hard rock, you know, what the band always does. This was released back in the day in 1996, I think, in that era. There was a single drawn from this, but I can't recall which song it was. Actually, it's also been a while I've seen that track even. But anyways, great bands, the Robinson Brothers. Yeah, great band. I'm glad to have this in the collection. So I have now 4 albums on CD from these guys. So yeah, time to complete the collection, I think. Great band, go check them out, the Black Crows. But I think a lot of people already know these guys because they are not that really unknown. Then I have an album from My Shameful. This is called Of All the Wrong Things. And this is a band from Finland, if I'm not mistaken. It is don't straight typical heavy death doom metal. If you like things like All My Dying Bride, this is definitely up your alley. Heavy riffing, growling vocals, soaring riffs. Yeah, your typical heavy death doom. Great stuff. Released on Firebox, and that is a label that releases a lot of doom. So yeah, good stuff. This was released already some years ago as well. All old releases here, but I don't mind. This is all stuff that were gaps in my collection, so need to get another case for this because there's an ugly sticker here for the barcode or something. I think it's fucking ugly, but yeah, it is what it is. If you want to scan it, now is the time. Look it up. My Shameful, fantastic death doom metal, great bands. You check it out. Then another rebuy, and this is Spineshank with the Height of Callousness. band's second album, new metal, industrial metal. This is definitely the breakthrough album, I think. What were the songs? I think Synthetic was a great tune, of a great sing on this, and the New Disease, I think. Um, yeah, they really got them rocking. 2 videos. This was back in the day on Roadrunner. Yeah, Roadrunner Records. End of the 90s release again. But yeah, fantastic stuff. There's, don't know if they're still active. I think they released 3 or 4 albums. I know the first one is called Strictly Diesel, which is also pretty good. But I haven't heard the other material from these guys. Maybe I should look into that. But I always really enjoyed this one. I had this back in the day in my collection as well. And like I said, in mini videos, I moved and got rid of it. But yeah, for a couple of bucks, I don't mind to rebuy this and give it a new place in the collection. Definitely will give this some more spins to refresh my memory again. And yeah, like I said, straightforward new metal, industrial metal. Clean vocal, a bit of bordering the harsher stuff. Back and forth. Yeah, really good stuff. Groovy rhythms. Yeah, great band, Spineshank. I don't know if a lot of people will enjoy this in the music community, but I think there definitely will be some people that will enjoy this stuff. I think that's only maybe thank the Lord. I don't know, maybe. This is also a rebuy for me. I had this also back in the day, and only for a few years to rebuy it is not a bad thing. This is Sick of It All, which scratched the surface. Some New York hardcore. Great band. This is definitely one of my favorite albums from the band, and one of the more known ones as well. Great stuff. Great to have this back in the collection. I definitely need to pick up more punk and hardcore because I'm missing so much stuff in my collection. Also, so Biohazard and things like that. I had a really huge stack from those kind of bands, but yeah, you know how it goes. But this is a fantastic album. Really love to rehear this once again. And here are the guys on the back, 4 dudes in the band. Yeah, your typical hardcore. Sick of It All. Great stuff. And the last one in this pretty big stack is from Moonspell, and it's then very different music again. This is more goth metal territory. This is a band from Portugal, and this is their release Sin Pecado. This is the slipcase version, as you guys can see. This is what the album looks like. This is the band's 3rd album, released in 1996, I think. I'm not super familiar with this album. I heard some tunes back in the day, but I'm really curious how this will fold out. But I really like Moonspell. I have a bunch of albums by them, and this one definitely fits straight in there. Awesome bands, and really cool to find this slipcase edition with all these guys. It will show up some glossy thing on the over there. It's really cool. That's where you see it. Really cool stuff, really well done. Released on Century Media back in the day. Also some gloss on the back, as you guys can see. Yeah, great stuff. Definitely looking forward to dive into this album. Like I said, I don't really super know this album. I've maybe 1 or 2 tracks back in the day. Magdalena, I think, is one of them I know, and maybe Second Skin, but the rest I haven't got a clue so far. Maybe if I heard some stuff that I think but I'm really glad to have this in my collection. Moonspell, Sin Pecado, great goth metal from Portugal. That's it, guys. Pretty nice stack to listen to, and yeah, I'm busy for a while. I still have more to show you guys. They have like this stack again of CDs, some kind of same amount on tapes as well. So I'm still have more collection updates to do. But hopefully you'll enjoy these releases. I will name the releases in the description box so you can look them up yourself and have some fun with some new tunes. Although all those releases are from back in the day, but I think a lot of people may have overlooked these, or want to rehear this after a lot of years. You never know. But I certainly will gonna enjoy these tunes. Thank you all for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you have something to say, put it in the comment section down below. Yeah, I really appreciate it if you interact with me. I always love seeing you, reading your comments. More to come. Of course, I have some reaction videos. I'm gonna do like I said, more collection updates. So there will be more content in the future. Thank you all for watching, for the support as well. If you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe. I would highly appreciate it. And see you guys next video. Bye.